everybody in.
Everybody get in there.
Well, I don't want to miss the.
I want to know who you are and what you're doing here.
My name is Wayne Swingle, local here in Forks Township, Pennsylvania. I am here because change needs to happen. I think we're on the verge of history here. What they started for us in Wall Street is just awesome. I see the growth every week, so I think it's awesome.
So you're a native of Easton?
Well, I've lived here for about 20 years. I'm from New Jersey, but I call Easton home now, sure.
Good.
Love this town.
Good. What exactly are we actually out here protesting for?
The easiest way I could say it without trying to spell something that doesn't actually exist at this point is to say that my biggest beef is to take the money out of politics. If you're a senator, okay, and some big corporation has bankrolled you to get you elected, and now a vote comes up, you can't vote against them, because then that money's not going to be there. You just voted yourself out of a job. You need these people to keep your job. We need the money out of politics because we can't vote even close to what the people may want. We may never have what the people want, but this way, all we do is serve the monies. We don't serve the people.
Right. Is it the banks directly, or is it? You know?
Well, I think I'm not the guy who can actually pinpoint all that.
Right.
I think the banks are involved. I think the banks are there to make money, and when they can't, they're going to make it somehow. They're going to make it some way. I'm not the guy. There's so much information out there. I've hit information overload, and I haven't had time to really digest all of it and figure out where it's coming from. But I know one thing that I can tell you almost every American probably feels: the system is broken. And so we have to change it. We have to make some changes. I think time is going to show what changes are going to have to be made, and it'll be made by people smarter than me and more in tune to those things. For now, I just lend my body and the things I can do here to help make the change.
That's all any of us can do.
That's right, that's right. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Great, you know, Easton's not real big on the map, but the support has been great. You can hear the people going by. They're beeping in support. We're going to be moving out into the center square with little groups to start bringing more people out here. Try and get the word out. It's only our second weekend out here. We're going to have more people. We hit almost 100 people. 100 different faces showed up here last week. At one point, we had 60 people sitting here for Global Occupation Day. That was the first day we occupied, and that was fantastic.
Something that seems to be a bit of a struggle with people is why we're not occupying 24/7.
Well, we've talked about it. One, the problem is, as a lot of people want to say we're hippies and we don't work, or we're this, that, or the other. I own a contracting business. I'm very busy. In a minute, I have to go make a phone call on an estimate I'm working on with a customer today for a job for next weekend. These people work. It's almost impossible for us to occupy 24/7, although we do believe it's in. I love it. The actual occupation will probably take place in the square, right, because there's permits required here, insurances, things like that. Whereas the square is open 24/7, so and what a great presence that'll be there. We get a lot of drive-by traffic here. We don't get the foot traffic we need. So when we do make that move, we want to make that move when it's right, and we'll occupy all winter, and people will supply. You know, there'll be people who maybe aren't working right now and have the ability, or maybe we'll occupy in shifts, and the rest of us who can afford to will support those people, help keep them. You know, the movement has many different areas and many different strengths. We'll figure out where everybody's strength is, you know, individually, as a group, and we'll move on from there. You know, and I just see it's growing. It's going to keep growing. I think the American public knows something's wrong, and that's why they so strongly support this. Some of them just haven't figured out it's time to get out. They're afraid. People are afraid of violence. They're afraid of what the media told them. They're afraid of all the disinformation out there. But people are starting to see there's nothing. The police officers go by and wave to us. We've met with the chief of police, very supportive. They're part of the 99%, and I think they know it.
Very good.
People first! USA first, before you send all the money out the country. Thank you.
My God.
I
You were
jacked
a semi driver.
for 18 years.
My God.
I also drove school bus for 4 years.
I don't know which is harder.
Driving school bus.
I bet. My Lord.
When I met my husband, he brought me here 13 years ago. And in Easton, I have seen so many changes in the last 13 years. I live in public housing. I live in the Bushkill house. And they do not take care of us. They could care less that the housing association, all they want is their money. I pay $601 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. You know how much that is when you only get $641 a month in your Social Security check? I mean, they take a lot, and they don't fix things like they should. When we tell them there's problems that we're having problems, certain people that are moving in that are creating problems, they do nothing about it. If the lights go out, I'm on oxygen. I have no way to refill my tanks. My husband had to go out and buy a generator. He would have to go outside in the snow, the rain, or whatever, and get going and take my machine down there just to fill my tanks. Now, you tell me that's right.
No,
and there's many other ones in our building that have breathing machines that are in wheelchair. They should have the handicap and the wheelchair people on the first and third floor because that's where the exit doors are.
Right.
They have me on the 4th floor. They have many other ones on the 5th floor. If there's a problem, like a fire or anything, you can't use the elevator. They would have to bring me down one step at a time in my wheelchair from the 4th floor.
Oh my God, what place is this?
This is the Bushkill house, right here in Easton.